Hello, this is George Mueller, and this is the introductory video to History 102 for the summer of 2014. If you're seeing this video, you know how to get onto My Heartland and navigate to the class. So I'm going to skip that part and get directly to how this class works. On this first page, there are announcements, and this tends to be a place where I put up things like events that affect us, that are going on around the college, or if there are any changes I need to make to the class, to the calendar, things like that. This is not a place where I will put up things like due dates. There are other tools for that, and it's not good to clog up the announcements with too many things like due dates. I may put up a reminder about major assignments like the term paper, but nothing like a common test or quiz or something. So when you see the class, you can scroll through and see a few directions. There's orientation, and well, let's go to the orientation. For this class, a lot of information is under course content right here, but we're going to look at course information right now, and it'll take a second for it to come up. Okay, under course information, there's a course calendar, which is going to slowly come up. There we go. Now, of course, in May, we don't have anything going on because the class hasn't really started. But we do have some things in June. So there's a little assignments there. And I'll be honest, I tend to put up just a tiny reminder for things in the calendar because it's not our major source of information. There is something else in the course information section that's interesting, and that's the course syllabus, which you should print off, or sorry, not print off. You should take a look at it. If you want to print it off, that's great. If not, don't feel like you have to. But do give it a run through. It has a lot of good information in it about the class, some details on grading and things like that. It'll open up in Word. But the real meat and potatoes of this class is in the course content. Now, right now you can only see a few modules, but more modules will appear as we get further into the class. The first thing you should click on is the course orientation. The course orientation has a lot of basic information about me and about this class. For example, it has instructor information, how to contact me, a little bit of my history, and also has the books for this class. And you will be needing both of them. We really do use them a lot in this class. So we'll scroll down a little bit. And I do tend to organize the class with lots of what are called content pages. So it tends to be you get into a module and then you scroll down and scroll down and scroll down and there's a bunch of stuff. This has a basic calendar for when things are due. This is just the very basics. There are some things that are due earlier than 6/8, but that's when the final part of the module is due, and that'll become a lot more obvious when we look in Module 1. Here is a second assignment, or here's a second set of information, getting acquainted with Blackboard, which has some places you can go for help, some information on netiquette that I would suggest taking a look at. And then there's our first assignment, which is getting to know you assignment. You'll notice I tend to give a description of the activity and then due dates. And I always try to put due dates in red. I won't guarantee that I never screw up and fail to mark them out in red, but I like them to be highlighted so they're really obvious. In this case, I'm asking for you to put up a message by June 4th, which is Wednesday, and then respond to a couple of messages by Sunday. And for discussion boards, that's what I do a lot. Put up something where you respond by Wednesday and then a final set of activities are due by Sunday. Notice everything for a module is due by the Sunday of that week. at the end of the day. And when I talk about due dates in general, I'm talking about midnight that night. I don't recommend you wait until anything like midnight to do the activities, but that's when they're due. And there is also an expectation that you send me an email. I should note something about Heartland's email system. Students have Gmail accounts, and the college does prefer that we use those to communicate. In fact, I'm required to only send personal information, things like grades, over your Heartland email. So I cannot send them to another email account, even if you prefer to use your Yahoo account or some other account. I'm just not allowed to, even another Gmail account. You can set up your Gmail account so it bounces to your preferred account, but that's something I can't really help you with. You can contact Heartland's IT for help with that. So that's email. Back to course content, and we're going to take a look at Module 1, and then briefly at Module 2. These descriptions are going to get a little more filled out. I'll put due dates and things on there too. For every module, I include an intro. Most of them are a little bit more fleshed out than this one is. In fact, this one will be a little bit more fleshed out when the class actually goes live. But the module intro will always do two things. It'll give you a little bit of an idea of what we're doing in the module and what you should look for in the book, and it will give you the due dates. So for this particular module, you're doing a couple of things. One of them is taking a look at your textbook and doing an analyze your textbook activity. And yes, I like to stress you do need both textbooks. So you're going to take a look at the textbook and respond to a discussion board by Sunday, June 8th at midnight. And then you're going to take a couple of reading quizzes. Reading quizzes are a major part of this class. And the idea with the reading quiz is that you read the textbook, read through the chapter, and then take a quiz over it. And it's perfectly allowable for you to have the textbook sitting there open while you're taking the quiz. That's completely fine. But you should know different students get different questions. There is a randomization feature in the questions, and so, well, there's a few ways for us to keep you guys from working too much together. So anyway, you take the reading quizzes. You have 2 hours to complete these reading quizzes. They probably won't take you anything like that, but you should definitely allow yourself that full time. So since they're all due on Sunday at midnight, it's not a good idea to wait until Sunday at 10 o'clock to start taking them. You may not get them finished. And if you run out of time, run out of those 2 hours, the quiz just submits itself. And when you are no longer able to take a reading quiz, they just disappear and you can't see them anymore. So that's the reading quizzes. Another thing that's a major part of this class are document exercises. Most of the document exercises come out of the Documents of Western Civilization book that you bought. Now early on, we're going to be looking at documents that you could pretty easily Google and find. That'll get less true as we go on in the semester. The first one is over Martin Luther's 95 Theses. And there's a message board that you send it to. Now, you can get to message boards in a couple of ways. In this particular module, I put in a discussion board link here. I don't usually do that because it's over here on the left-hand side of your screen. So you may as well go there to get to it. Let's go there for a sec. We have several discussion boards. One of them is for questions about the class. If you're having a problem with the class, you can send them there. It's not a great place for technical questions. I am not a computer expert. In particular, if you are a Mac user, I know nothing about Macs at all. I'm a little bit more knowledgeable about Android devices and about Windows, but I'm not a great person to help you with those tech problems. Class problems, on the other hand, I can help you with. So if you're having trouble getting into a quiz, or if you've got a quiz that seems to be broken or something like that, feel free to contact me. I really do want to be contacted. There's also, this is where the getting to know you activity is, and there's a couple of videos that give you more information about Blackboard. You can click on these Blackboard help videos. This takes you to a website run by Blackboard, and it gives you details on how to do things like respond to my posts, how to create a topic within a discussion. I'm just going to pop this open, and you can see a lot of times what you do is create a thread, and if you're interested in getting a notification every time somebody posts, you can subscribe. You don't have to. I really do have to, so that I can respond in a timely fashion. So back to course content. Module 2. You'll notice Module 2 has a lot more of an intro, has some more due dates, because Module 1 and the orientation module are going on concurrently. Module 2 is a little bit more robust. There's a video to watch. This particular video is available on YouTube and also from a couple of websites. So I put them in there. I also embedded the video. Whenever possible, I like to give you several ways to get to a video. There's also a viewing guide and the omnipresent reading quizzes. And our first exam. It's a good idea to take a look at the exam early on. It's essentially a 500 to 800 word essay. You're answering a prompt. So if you wanted to start on that a week early, you could. And that is our tour of the class. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email or a text, or heck, you can even give me a call on my cell phone. That information is available in the syllabus. So thanks a lot, and I look forward to working with you.